Good morning, welcome to Planet Mojo. We're going to be gone for a little bit, so I got to do a whole bunch of stuff to get ready to leave. We are heading for our son's wedding out of town, and we're going to be gone for a good while, and it's going to be nearly 100 for most of the time we're gone. So I got to get everything watered, and to do that I need this hose and the hose I have up there. I already watered the trees last week, they'll be fine. Today and tomorrow I got to water the flowers, otherwise I think they'll be dead when we get back. Yeah, it's going to be so hot this coming week and won't be anybody here to do anything. So first, I guess Natalie emptied this yesterday and it's already filthy, but I'm going to empty this all seasons duck pond, rinse it out, refill it, and then I think I'll have to do that again tomorrow at the last minute. It'll probably have to last until we get back, unless we can get the person who's watching the animals and stuff to do it, but she's already got a lot to do with all the other animals. So without further ado, let's pull the plug on this thing. This is pretty nasty. I think I'll do a little more leveling on this, rinse it out, cap it back up, and fill it back up with water. Looks like I need to prop up that far side a bit more. I put 3/4 inches down there, and that's not quite doing it. So let me prop it up a little more. Alright, that's pretty good. I still have to get out here and finalize everything, make a decent ramp for this and get it all nice and level, but that appears to be pretty level. Alright, let's get this filled up, and I'm going to put this valve on it, but I need to have a bracket to hold this on first, and I haven't been able to get to the hardware store. So let's fill this thing up and get to work. Yeah, this is going to be a little more work than it would seem. I got to go up there and turn off the water. Not this platform, but the next one up. That's where the water comes from. Got to go turn it off, come back down here, disconnect the hose, throw that in the back, and then I got to run up and get the other hose, which is up by the trees up there, connect them both together, find the spray nozzle, and then I have, oh, what was it? It's 200 and some feet of garden to water. So this is going to take a little bit. I got a ton of stuff to do today. Okay, that's looking pretty level. Looks like it's leaning a little bit this way now. It was leaning that way. I have to dig out a spot and put some gravel down and get a nice level base for this. They'll be using this all winter, or at least Eve will. The other ducks we believe will migrate south. Izzy's obsessed with hoses, if you didn't know that. I also have to water the trees that I planted this year. I got a whole bunch of them done in the last couple days, and I believe I left off with the one right over here. So I just got to do just a couple of them. I think there's one, two, probably only 3 that need watering. So another task. Let's get the water shut off so I can load this hose up. Crazy dog. Alright, now I'm going to empty out this. I don't know why this ball is in there. I'm going to empty this out. This should be cleaned. The horses are going to come back in here and they're going to be fed hay because the grass is not growing because we have a drought. Kind of sucks. But this is getting a bit green. Good time to empty it so it dries out and get it washed up. This hose is a lot easier. It's connected right at the edge of the grass. The yellow, I think that's a DeWalt hose of all things. Oh no, it's a Fat Max. I can disconnect it right there and then it's all right here. These have been watered. Oh, I think that's 3 times now. Flood watering. Water them for an hour, hour and a half at about half pipe. So these are doing just fine. They'll make it just fine through the drought. I just need to water the flowers and I'm going to water these apple trees. All right. Yeah, that is Fat Max. Stanley Fat Max. Okay, this is about half pipe, about half the pipe filled with water coming out. I'm going to leave it at this spot for about an hour and then do 2 more spots. Then I'm going to move it to the other fruit trees, especially the other apple tree. The cherry tree is done for this year, so I probably won't water it. There's little man. Little man had a stroke. I got to do a video on that. It's a very odd occurrence for a cat, but we watched it happen and took him to the vet, and he sure enough had a stroke. He walks sideways now, his head is tilted. Little man. Little man. Hey, little man. Little man, come here. You can see how he holds his head sideways. He meows a little bit different. Just about everything is a little different about him. And he can't really jump to high places. If he moves too fast, he'll fall down. Yeah, it's kind of sad. All right, so I have both hoses in the back of the gator. I got to get them to the other yard, hook them up, and start watering these ditch gardens. All right, I got the hose all set up, ready to go. I'm going to start way at the end down there, but this is another, oh. What do we have here? Oh, that's a chipmunk. Half a chipmunk. I got to get rid of these cucumbers. I I haven't picked a cucumber in about a week, and this is what happens. We're about done with cucumbers for this year. I really got to start canning, but this was way too many cucumbers to start with, so I'm cutting these cucumbers out. I have 3 peppers here, and our guinea pig goes through tons of peppers, so I'm gonna take the cucumbers out, give the peppers some light, and then I'm gonna water this stuff today as well. Today is gonna be mostly about watering and picking stuff up. I'm gonna have to throw that underneath the compost pile. All right, let's get watering. Okay, I have 3 nets here, or I have 2 nets here. I really need 3. I have a chunk down in the vineyard that needs covering, and those 2 vines right there. I hope to make some wine out of these 2 vines, so hopefully I can get them covered. I saw an oriole eating the grapes this morning, so really time to get them covered. All right, I am looking for my pruning shears, my Felco shears, so I can thin out that cucumber, take 2 of them out of there and thin the heck out of the other one. I think that might be in the house. I gotta move that water first though. I have no idea why this chair is there. Yeah, it doesn't look like it did much of anything. But it certainly did. That's quite a bit of water coming out of there. It's been on here maybe an hour and a half so far. Oh yeah, I can see it over there. Okay, and then we'll do this one more time a little bit later. But now for those cucumbers. Okay, I gotta figure out what to take out of here. Cindy said that she wants one of the vines, that she's getting a cucumber here and there. We just have too many cucumbers. I think I'll keep the biggest one here and just thin the heck out of it. I mean, it's all over the place. And then take these 2 out. Yeah, that's the plan. All right, all pruned up. I gotta get some water in here before we go. Hopefully I can get that done tonight. After lunch, I'm gonna put the sprinkler on the end of that hose and then slowly work it all the way to the far end of the garden here. And then I'll probably have to water this tomorrow morning. Just set it on a trickle feed and get all of the plants. Yeah, now these peppers can get a decent amount of sunlight, and it looks like they're right about the size, so I don't have to worry about them until we get back. You know, we're going to be gone for a week. Hopefully they don't get overripe in that time. All right, it's just after lunch. I have the sprinkler on. I'm going to leave it for about an hour in each location, so I guess this part is going to take 2 hours, and that's going to take about 5 hours there. So another 7 hours. It will be dark by the time this is done, I guess. But it certainly needs it. Okay, now I got to move that water on the apple tree. And then after that, I got to move it to the other apple tree. Alright, I can see water down here. I'll move it over that way. And that should be it for this tree. Alright, an hour, maybe an hour and a half right there. And then we'll move it to the other apple tree. Alright, I'm getting ready to move this again. It's already 3:30. I've been real busy working on getting ready for the drive across the country for the wedding. Alright, I gotta move this. I'm gonna move it one over. I think I got enough hose here. And then for the next one, I'm gonna have to pull it through there. Alright, let's get this moved. Alright, now I gotta move the other water to the other apple tree and then get back busy with the stuff in the house. Alright, I moved the hose to the other tree. Taking a look at my purple love grass. I believe all of this stuff is new. You can see the really purple stuff. I'm guessing that's last year's. I don't know. Hopefully this gets as purple as that does. I mean, it's really nice and filling in. You know, there's a couple thin spots, but it is a weed, so I'm hoping it takes this area over completely and then gets that color right there, that nice purple. Every time I see a little foxtail hanging out in there, yank it out so it doesn't drop any seed. Alright, well, I gotta get back to work inside. Alright, I got this one in between, so it gets the ditch garden and this veggie garden. I don't know what the heck we're gonna do with this. This is gonna have zillions of ripe tomatoes while we're gone. Oh well, but I don't want it to die. We have somebody house sitting, so we'll tell her she can grab a bunch of tomatoes. We've already pushed a bunch of cucumbers on her, so I don't know how much she'll like that. Alright, I'm gonna let it cool down a bit, and then I have a bunch of stuff loaded in the gator from the addition. I gotta move that over, put it in the shed. Oh, I got a bunch of stuff to do. I'll let you know when I get to it. Alright, this is day 2 of the prepping for the trip to South Carolina for the wedding. I just netted that little bit that was left over in the vineyard. I'll show you that in a second. But I came over here to look at the chestnut tree, and I noticed that these chestnuts have firmed up a bit. These were like soft little balls before. Now they're getting hard and spiky, which is good. Nothing's going to want to eat those. But what I really wanted to show you is all this lighter colored, taller grass. It looks to all be big blue stem. I planted big blue stem here before I planted this perennial ryegrass. And I thought the perennial ryegrass pretty much killed out the big blue stem, but that is obviously not the case. You can see how tall some of this stuff is, and I believe some of it has seed heads on it, which show you, they call big blue stem turkey foot. It has a seed head that's kind of looks like a turkey foot. And it's pretty much everywhere it needs to be, that's for sure. So that is really good. Glad to see that. The big blue stem will eventually kill out the perennial rye, and this will be a little prairie. Really, really nice. I just wish I didn't have this stuff here, and normally I would cut this out, but my trimmer is on the fritz a little bit right now, and we're leaving tonight and we're going to be gone a week. I really don't have time right now to get in here and weed, so I guess I'm going to have all this foxtail seed added to it, but it shouldn't be too much of a problem. This was all foxtail at one point, and it's all died back now. So yeah, this is going to look really nice next year. Next year I'm going to get in here and spray 2,4-D, get rid of the last of these weeds and stuff. And then I'll slowly plant the wildflowers back into here. And this will be a restored prairie. Good, good, good. Let me show you that net. Okay, we got one owl move before we leave. Not that it's going to make that much of a difference. We got everything netted now, but don't want them getting used to the owls either. And I would rather not any birds get caught in the net. Yeah, the berries are getting nice and fat now. Good, good, good. Here is the kind of a cheap little net that I covered that last open gap with. This is 7 foot by 21 foot. We got it for something else, but it really works nice in a jam. It's not the best net in the world, but it's going to keep the birds off the grapes, so I guess that's good enough. Okay, let's get that other owl moved. And then I have another net. I'm going to net one of the grapes up here, and I think that's all I can do outside today. Alright, I got this one wrapped too, and I have no net for that one. I think I might be able to get a small net in the nearby town. If I can, I'm going to get one and net that as well. This is the one, well actually, maybe it was this one. Yeah, you could see where an oriole has been taking grapes off of here. I got this tiny little bit of net left, but that's not enough to do much. Yeah, I think this is probably where I saw him. I saw him at the end of one of the vines, grabbing onto the side and pecking at the grapes. So if I can get a net for this, and the reason for it is I would like to make a little bit of wine this year, and 2 vines would be, in the neighborhood of 10 pounds of grapes. You know, it's not going to make a whole lot of wine, but it would be really nice to make a batch. So I'll see if I can get a net. If you don't pick off these grapes that have a peck hole in them, they leak juice, and that attracts the yellow jackets, and the yellow jackets will just be all over. And once the yellow jackets swarm on the grapes, they start pecking holes in them themselves, and they won't do that if there's nothing to get them started. So we don't want to get them started. Yeah, this is getting pecked a lot. Yeah, if I leave this uncovered, it'll probably attract so many yellow jackets that they'll just fly right through the screen and mess with my other vine over there. So it would be really nice to get a net. I'm gonna go give them a call and see if they got one. Yeah, this cluster is pretty much shot. It's got the whole backside though. Alright, I'll mess with this more once I get the net. If I can't get the net, I will probably just take the clusters off of this, at least all the exposed ones. Yeah, the birds really got to this already. Much more so on this vine than that vine. It's probably because the grapes are more exposed. Okay, let me check into that. I gotta end this video and get ready to go in the morning. Alright, so this is what happened. Right after the last clip you saw, I went to town. They had nets, so I picked up a net and got this netted. It's a bit bigger than was needed, but that's just fine. So got everything netted up, and then I ran around and got all the final stuff done so we could run to Charlotte. We left at like 4 in the morning. It is now a week later. Everything is really blooming in the front of the ditch garden there, but I'll show you that in a different video. I don't want to kind of rush through it. I want to try to get this video ended so that I can get some other stuff done. So today, this is the first day back. We got back late last night. Today I checked on the vineyard. The grapes are up to 21 bricks, and the guy that's buying them is dropping off the bins tonight. We are likely going to be harvesting in 2 days, so I'll be making a video on that. Hopefully this dog is not rolling in poop, but I'm gonna guess there's a little bit of poop right there, because she doesn't roll for nothing, do you, honey? No, not at all. Yeah, you can really see how beautiful these gardens are looking. Well, except for the purple coneflowers, but I'm going to go in and cut all these down, you know, to about that high, about 6 inches high. And then these will resprout, I believe, and get some little flowers on them, but they'll quit laying on top of everything else, and you'll be able to see the other stuff in here. But that's for a different video. Last thing I need to do before I wrap up this video is go check on the All Seasons duck pond. Yeah, it's been kind of crazy since we got back. Last night it was almost dark, and I took the dog for a walk down the road here, and I all of a sudden had 3 cats with me as well. Okay, so she did not fill this while we were gone. Okay, I'll drain this and then rinse it out and fill it back up. All right, back to the cat story. Well, it's actually a cat and dog story. Oh, why did I put the plug back in? I gotta rinse this out. So, it was actually 2 cats and the dog that went with me on the walk. One of them was Maisie right there, and the other one was Little Man. You may have seen it in another video. Little Man had a stroke. Oh wow, there's a frog right there. Holy moly. Well, he'll have to take a little ride around for a bit. Oh, that's kind of cool. Yeah, we have leopard frogs up here. There's no source of water. There's no open water. I don't know, probably for a half a mile that way. And we found a turtle walking up here. There's a video on that. And we've been finding these leopard frogs since we've had to land. That's pretty cool. All right, well, he might have got trapped in there when this thing went down. Let's let him swim to the top and see if he needs to get out. Hopefully the cat doesn't get him. I'll have to stop that from happening. But anyways, again, we took that walk, and Little Man had a stroke, so he does not walk very well. He was zigzagging back and forth and was in between my feet, and it was past sunset, and somebody was shooting down in the hollow down here, which they shouldn't be doing. Whoa. And that scared Izzy. They started shooting when we got to the end of the road. That scared Izzy. She ran halfway down the road, and that made little man start running between my legs and nearly tripping me. And it was scaring Maisie as well. Maisie took off somewhere, but it scared Maisie as well. So it was kind of a rough ending to a long driving day. We started driving at, oh, what time was it? Maybe 9 o'clock in Bowling Green, Kentucky. And then drove straight through to here, which I'm gonna guess is about 1,000 miles, maybe. I don't know. It was a long drive. We got about halfway and they started, shot another volley of rounds, and Izzy took off, and I figured she would be sitting on the porch. I came around the corner up here with the zigzagging little man who had the stroke, and Izzy was not on the porch, so I figured the girls let him in. And when I got to the porch, I called for little man to come and hurry up so I could bring him inside. When I called for him, Izzy came running out of the greenhouse. She was hiding in the greenhouse. She is not a brave dog at all. Okay, just about full. That frog was just over there getting a little breath of air, and he dove to the bottom and was swimming around. And he could probably, no, you can't see him anymore. He's behind this wood right here. So he'll do whatever he wants to do, but I'm guessing he's going to do it while I'm gone. This thing leaks a little bit, and when we were about to leave, we had filled it up and it was just pouring out. It was there's a little gasket on this drain here. So I tightened that up as good as I could. It still drips a bit, but it's not too bad. But when I get this thing finalized, I'm gonna just dig out the area, kill the grass, dig out the area a little bit, put some gravel in here, tamp it really well, and get a really nice flat stiff spot for this to rest on, and hopefully that'll keep it for the winter. Alright, like I said, we gotta head to the store for milk and eggs and bread and all that other stuff, so I'm gonna wrap this long video up right here. So the next video I believe will be about the gardens, and then I'll have a couple on the vineyard. I gotta go check the bricks again. We'll be getting them bins tonight. A lot of stuff going to be going on down there, and then the harvest. So make sure you subscribe and click on the update icon. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you put them in the comment section below. And if you give the video a like and or share it, it helps the channel out greatly. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.